Good morning, students. Vandana Bagar here. Today we are going to see the topic Reasons of Strategic Planning from the course Management Information System. The objective of today's learning are to understand what is strategy and characteristics of effective strategy planning. Second objective is to understand the reasons for strategic planning. Which are the forces, which are the motives which promotes the organization for the strategic planning. Let us move forward for our today's discussion, that is reasons for strategic planning or essentiality of strategic planning. What is strategy? Strategy. Before discussing what is strategy, there are various reasons which forces all the organization to resort the strategic business planning. Strategy is a plan, consists of different decisions, action setting, direction to organization business for a long term. Strategy could be corporate, business or functional. It spells out majorly 6 factors that are market size, competitive advantage, resources required, environmental factors and stakeholders' expectation. Strategy is usually evolved. It is formulated to achieve the organization's vision, mission and goals. And finally, effective deployment of this plan by allocation or by availability of various resources that meets the needs of market and expectation of the various stakeholders like the customer or the supplier. It's bring an advantage to the organization, because if strategy is implemented correctly, if it is planned correctly, then there is definitely success for the organization. So strategic planning plays a very important role in the profit, in the sales, in the success of any organization. But for this, strategy should be formed correctly, it should be implemented, and most important is it should be monitored. It should be reviewed periodically and it needs to be assessed internally as well as externally. So, for an organization to be successful, strategy planning must be there. Now, let us understand what are the characteristics of effective strategy which makes the organization successful. Vision, mission, goals, objectives have SMART specification. Now, SMART specification means S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, realistic and time bound. So, our strategy must be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. Strategy is evolved through people participation. So whenever a strategy for a particular organization is in process, at that time people or employees from various designations should be involved to formulate the strategy. And once the strategy is formulated, it should be documented as well as it should be communicated and understood by all the stakeholders, by all the peoples involved in that organization. Strategy is a result of analysis of business, competition and environment. So we can say that strategy is an outcome of strategy evaluation process. So I once again said that for the success of any organization, strategy planning must be there. In today's highly competitive business environment, budget-oriented planning or forecast-based planning methods are insufficient for the organization to be successful, or at the ground line we can say, to survive any organization in the market. It is very essential to have the strategic planning. So the organization must engage themselves in strategic planning that defines objectives and assess both internal and external situation to formulate the strategy, implement the strategy, and evaluate the progress. Just like monitoring and assessing of the strategy are the two important factors for the success of strategic planning. Now, we have understood what is strategy and what are the characteristics of strategy. Now, let us understand which are the forces, which are the reasons, or what are the essential things which force to make the strategic planning. There are 5 forces: market forces, technological changes, complex diversity of business, competition, and environments. Let us discuss one by one. Market forces. It is very difficult to predict the market forces, such as one cannot exactly tell what is the demand and supply ratio, the market growth, consumer behavior, what is the exact need of various customer, and what is the choice of the customer, because the consumer behavior and the choices of the behavior changes according to time, according to the market scenario, according to the taste of the customer. So organization has to predict this market forces, that is, what is the demand and supply, what is the demand by the market, and according to the demand what exactly we should supply, and the exact growth of the market. So since it is difficult to predict, it affects the sales of the organization, growth of the organization, and ultimately profitability of the organization. The ability of organization to predict these forces and plan the strategies is limited for the various reasons. And these market forces also affect the sales, growth, and profitability. With the problems that arising out of market forces, it is difficult for any organization to adversely affecting unless a business is managed through a proper business plan. So, to avoid the consequences of these market forces, a proper business plan is necessary, which we generally call a strategy plan. So, the ability of the organization to predict these market forces, and based on that prediction, the organization must plan strategies, must prepare their own business plan to face these market forces. So in order to finally achieve the success, to finally there is a growth in the sales, growth of the business, and ultimately profitability of the business. The second reason for strategic planning is technological change. There are number of reasons, there are number of cases cases are present in the world which are the examples of technological change. One example we consider here In the earlier days, when the mobile are in the market, when the first mobile in the market, at that time, Nokia is the company which is at the topmost for the mobile manufacturing and selling of the mobile phones also. But as the days pass out, Nokia has not grabbed the market or has not grabbed the interest of the consumer because the other mobile companies have developed their product with the more advanced technology, more advanced features or user-friendly features in the mobile phones. I think so, which not adopted by the Nokia. So this is the major, we can say the good example of technological change. So the technological change threatens the current business and it also creates a new business opportunity. Whenever there is a new technology, at that time, as it threatens the current business, but it also creates a new business opportunity. Like just now in today's day, we are moving through a COVID-19 series disease. So though there is a COVID-19 disease and whole the world is fighting for this disease, at the same time, this particular scenario also created new business opportunities. That is the use of Arogya Setu app, which is proposed by the government. Then we can say the sale of sanitizer and mask. It has created a new business opportunity. But we can say this is not the pure example for the technological change, whereas it is the example for the environmental change. So the technological change not only it affects not only business prospects but the managerial and operational styles of the organization. As the technology comes into the market, new technology comes into the market, accordingly manager have to change their working style and their operation styles also, because if the manager follow the traditional working style, traditional operating operation style, then obviously it will not match, it will not cope up with the current technology change. So if the technology change is adopted by the organization, then there must be a change into the managerial level in their operational style. So, in the absence of any corporate plan, business may be in difficult situation. So, to avoid this, to survive in the market, organization should change their strategy as there is a new technology in the market. The third reason for strategic planning is complex diversity of business. The scope of business is wide. It is having many fronts. It is touching many fronts. The variety of products, the different market segments, the variety of the various methods for manufacturing. There are various locations and dependence on the external factors such as transport, communication and manufacturing. Resources bring complexity in the management of business, and many of these factors are uncontrollable. Since the scope of business is wide and whatever factors are involved in this wideness, these factors are also uncontrollable because all the factors are not directly in hands of any organization. So it is very essential to have the strategic planning for the organization. In the absence of strategic planning, diverse and complex nature of business is really difficult to handle, because as the business grows, it reaches a stage where the strategies such as expansion may be vertical or horizontal, integration, it may be forward or backward, diversification, in the same line or in the diverse line of business, are the issues which the management is required to handle. These issues are investment oriented. So, to handle all these factors which are uncontrollable, though they are uncontrollable, but if we have a proper strategic planning to handle these factors, then definitely success to some extent is definitely achieved, and which will not affect the sales and profitability of any organization. So complex diversity of business or the scope of business is the major factor to promote for the strategic planning. Next reason for strategic planning is competition. Facing competition in the business means fighting on the number of fronts. Competition is exist at various ends, at various dimensions of any organization. This competition could be direct or it could be indirect. Competition may be due to the share market, due to the new product in the market, which will shift the market affecting your business. Competition could be solely in the management of business where there is hardly any product distinction, or it may come from certain sections which are being promoted by the government. The companies compete for the factors such as how, quality, prompt delivery, after sales services. So once the product is manufactured and successfully deployed at the customer side, still the company is competing for this number of factors like always maintaining the pure quality of the product, prompt delivery to the customer, and once the product is delivered to the customer, then also after that we are giving sales services. While the company is busy for this number of factors to maintain the stability of the business, at that time there is a competition for the in the market for due to the share market, due to the new product with additional features in the market. So organization must be in touch with what is the share market ratio, what are the new product in the market, which features they are supporting, and accordingly the organization should make the strategy planning for themselves. So continuously new strategy should be evolved to deal with the competition. Obviously, it may need a forward planning and thinking. So we can say that competition is a natural phenomena in business and it has to be dealt with a proper manner to protect the business. This means that management has to continuously evolve in new strategies to deal with the competition. An organization management should be continuously involved in formulating new strategy in order to compete the market, in order to compete the other organizations. So evolving strategies and their implementation, their calls for forward thinking and planning, without which it is not possible to handle the competition. So if any organization want to be in the market, want to at the first position in the share market, then the organization's management must be involved continuously involved in evolving new strategies, in evolving effective strategy, implementing the strategy, assessing the strategy, and as well as assessing its internal and external factors. And the most important thing is periodically reviewing of our own strategy. So this is the same point. It forces the management to look for new product, new market, new technology to maintain the share, to control process and to improve the quality of the product, whereas all these factors are in relation with the success of the organization to improve the sales, to improve the profitability of the organization. Now, the last important reason for the strategic planning is environment. Always remember, environment is beyond the control of management. Depending upon the organization's business and its purpose, different environments are there. This environment could be social, it could be business, it could be economic, industrial. Many a times the environment could be a mixed environment. The environmental changes are difficult to predict, and these changes are generally very slow. So, forecasting the probable environment change, like the change in population. If there is a change in population, then obviously the product manufacturing should be increased to satisfy the need of the customer. Consumer preferences as per the reason, as per the season, as per the environment, as per the age category, as per the current market scenario, as per the current fashion scenario, as per the government rules and regulation, consumer preferences are changing and their behavior is also changing accordingly. Government policies are also changing. So based on the organization must have a look for the government, what are the current policy of the government, and accordingly consumer behaves, accordingly organization should also change their strategy. And new opportunities, just like previously I have given the example of COVID-19. Right now, the whole world is moving through this scenario of COVID-19. So, the environment is changed. Nowadays, people are not very much fond of for purchasing clothes. They are not very much fond of for purchasing shoes and other accessories. Now, this COVID-19 situation has changed the environment that now majority of the consumer are involved in purchasing the sanitizer, in purchasing the mask, in purchasing medicine. So this is the change due to the environment. So as there is a COVID-19 situation, it also created new opportunities for the organizations. Like right now, sanitizer business is at the top mode. Manufacturing a good quality mask, this business is also at the top. Because right now from the last 3 to 4 months, people are purchasing these products majorly. Sanitizer, mask and the household food material. So creating strategies to meet these changes is a major task. One more example for the environmental change is when the televisions are introduced, it has affected the film industry. It has affected the people's interest to go out for picnic or to a circus. Or one more example we can see the personal computers are replaced by the typewriters are replaced by the personal computers. Now personal computers are also replaced by the laptops. So based on the changing office environment, it changes the opportunity of the business. So planning does not eliminate the risk, but it provides an effective tool to face the environment. So a management should understand what is the current environment, what are the effects of that environment, and accordingly they should plan the strategy. This is the reference book which I have used, Management Information System, 5th edition of it, by Varman S. Javadekar and McGraw Hill publication. I am thankful to this book, author, and the content provided in this book. Thank you.